Back the news in full. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi discussed with Defense Minister, Advisor for Projects, the head of the Supplies Authority in the Armed Forces and Director of Missions Department, the means of providing citizens with the basic needs of commodities in appropriate by the end of the month. During the meeting, the President reviewed measures implemented by the Army in cooperation with the concerned ministries to provide basic commodities to the citizens, stressing that standards of high quality have to be applied. The President also reviewed projects implemented by the Armed Forces and establishing an industrial area to cover the needs of the Army and the market. The number of victims who lost their lives because of the heavy rainfall that has hit Bahira has risen to 23 people. 15 of the victims died as a result of heavy rains in Wadi Notroun area, while the remaining were already electrocuted. The heavy rainfall has recently hit several parts of Egypt, leading to several casualties. And the Arab League denounced the attitude of some Western countries towards the Russian plane crash that had taken place in Egypt. The Vice Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed bin Hilli, said that all the rumors spread about the unfortunate incident are mere speculations and analysis by parties aiming at hitting stability. Bin Hilli called on all the countries to support Egypt to reinstate stability in the region. Meanwhile, the British government denied that a passenger's plane that was traveling to Egypt earlier in August had avoided a missile attack. The Foreign Secretary, Philip Hammond, said that an investigation was held in this matter and it was revealed that the plane did not face any problems. The Afro-Asian People's Solidarity Organization mourned the loss of 224 lives who died in the Russian airliner crash. The organization stated that such a catastrophic accident should not be politicized and manipulated by a number of Western nations aiming at achieving political gains. The Solidarity Organization also expressed its astonishment at the United States and Britain, who announced that the crash had taken place due to a bomb before the analysis of the plane's black boxes was concluded. The Afro-Asian Solidarity Organization further stated that the American Anglo efforts contradict with Russia's military intervention in Syria to eliminate terrorism, adding that these nations aim at undermining Egyptian-Russian ties and destroying the tourism and the economy. And the head of the investigating committee for the Russian airliner crash, Ayman al-Muqaddam, refuted a number of reports and information published by several media outlets regarding the accident. Muqaddam stated that an official statement was released Saturday by the committee that represents the 5 participating countries, namely Egypt, Russia, France, Germany, and Ireland. In the same context, a Russian plane carrying the remains of some of the 224 dead passengers left Cairo for St. Petersburg. And the 9th round of Ethiopia's dam negotiations had already concluded in Egypt on Sunday, with the Minister of Irrigation, Houssam Moughezi. The 6-party meeting for the foreign and irrigation ministers of Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia will be held in 2 weeks in Khartoum to discuss the repercussions of the dam on Egypt. During the meeting, Egypt stressed the importance to abide by the Declaration of Principles that was signed by the presidents of the 3 countries in Khartoum last March. Moughezi reiterated Egypt rejects a proposal to assign one consultancy firm to carry out the required studies on the dam, noting that it had been agreed that 2 firms would undertake the studies. He added that Egypt insists on its historic rights of the Nile water, but also supports the development interests of other countries. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry takes part Monday in a meeting of foreign ministers in the Saudi capital, Riyadh. The foreign ministers discuss means of convincing the world community to provide protection to the Palestinian people in light of the violations by the Israeli occupation army and the settlers. Addressing the meeting, the United Arab Emirates foreign minister called on the United Nations Security Council to protect the Palestinians. Meanwhile, the Palestinian foreign minister Riyad al-Maliki said that the Palestinians were facing brutal aggression from the occupying forces. He added that Israel is carrying out attacks in occupied Jerusalem with the aim of dividing the city. The Arab League chief Nabil al-Arabi on his behalf said that the meeting aims at discussing steps to face the Israeli aggression. He described the Israeli aggression against the Palestinians in the occupied territories as war crimes. The meeting also tackled economic, cultural and trade relations related to the Palestinian file. And shedding more light on the issue, we're joined over the phone by His Excellency Ambassador Fathi Shazli, former Egyptian ambassador to Saudi Arabia. Mr. Ambassador, good day to you. And the agenda of the Arab Foreign Ministers meeting, the meeting comes timely today.
Good day to you too. And I wish to comment on this very important meeting by referring to the conventional support Latin American countries to give to all Arab causes, especially the Palestinian question. But I would say that we Arabs and Latin Americans, we have had always a kind of identical views regarding most of the problems facing the international community. But against this conventional historical relationship, I would say that some Arab countries would have connections with a sizable Arab community living in Latin America. But for me, I would say that this should be within the context of diversification, the diversification process Egypt has been involved in as far as its international partners have been concerned. The relations between Egypt and Latin American countries actually deserve to be regarded with new eyes. Brazil, for instance, is considered among the few stars of the international community now, the BRICS group, for instance. So diversification process is very important. Egypt would play a hub for contacts and for investment from Latin America to Africa and to the Middle East.
Right. Mr. Ambassador, well, the coincides with the Israeli Prime Minister's visit to the United States. So how do you see this meeting, the objectives and the outcome?
The United States is a very important partner of this country. Even the President Sisi highlighted this dimension, the importance of the relationship between Egypt and the United States. I believe that the comprehensive nature of the relationship will be reflected in the course of the deliberations of the Prime Minister. And again, political issues would impose themselves, especially as far as the decisions by some powers, international powers, regarding the touristic inflows to Egypt in the wake of the aircraft, the Russian aircraft incident, which is a happening that took place in most of the countries of the world. So I think that this incident will have to be talked over during this visit as well.
Right. Excellency Ambassador Fathi Shazli, Egypt's former ambassador to Saudi Arabia, thank you so much for your time. On another front, the Israeli occupation forces shot and killed the Palestinian woman at a